Hello, welcome to Mama Sue's Kitchen. I've got my big KitchenAid mixer out today, so it looks like it's taking up all the room, but my plug is right here at the end of my island, so it has to stay right there. But today I'm going to make a chocolate pound cake. Now, I have had a couple of people ask me about making a chocolate pound cake, and I'm going to show you this recipe. First of all, you're going to take 2 sticks of butter at room temperature, and I've already put one, and this is the other. And then to that, you're going to add a half a cup of Crisco or vegetable shortening, and I'm using Crisco, a half a cup. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just kind of blend this together. Okay, let me just scrape those sides a little bit. And to that, I'm going to add 3 cups of granulated white sugar, and I have measured that out. You know, I told you the only thing I don't like about my KitchenAid mixer is I'm not able to lift it up. But other than that, it's perfect. So now I'm just going to beat this. Said beat it until it's creamy and fluffy, and it's pretty creamy and fluffy. Now I'm going to step over here and get my eggs. I'm going to put them in this bowl. Yeah, the recipe calls for 6 eggs, and I have 5 eggs that we got from the chickens, and I had to put 1 bought egg with it, but I'm going to go ahead and start this, and we're going to add 1 at a time. The yard eggs are just richer to me. The yolks are brighter yellow. They really do make the cakes and all better. I don't have chickens, but my son-in-law does, and he lives right next door. So I have eggs when I want them. course, the last one is a store-bought egg. I should have compared the yolks but I didn't think about it until I had already added them. Okay, I'm going to stop it, and I'm just going to scrape the sides and make sure there's some sugar mixture at the top of these beaters. But I just want to scrape down the sides. Okay. Now let me tell you what it says. It says in another bowl, mix your 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I have already done that. And I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. It's the baking powder. That flour I told you was all-purpose. It wasn't self-rising. Okay. And then to this, I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of cocoa. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I'm going to take my whisk, and I'm just going to whisk this in a little bit so all the cocoa's not at the top, and the baking powder and salt is mixed in with the flour. Okay. You know, I love a regular pound cake, but this chocolate pound cake is good also. All right. Now what we're going to do is it calls for 3/4 cup of whole milk and a 1/4 cup of coffee. So I had coffee left from breakfast this morning. It says to mix them together, and that's what I'm going to do. So first thing I'm going to do, let me get a clean spoon. I'm going to put about 1/2 of this in. Turn it on. Go ahead and mix the rest of this. And then I'm going to add a little of this milk and coffee to it. Now, don't think you're going to be able to taste coffee, but it does give it a flavor. I have to turn it off to add the rest of the flour or it'll be all in my face. It's a warm day here in Alabama. Almost 80, which is warm for springtime. Many times we go from winter to summer here. But I love spring. I love to plant things. Add some milk and coffee. I always go over my recipes to make sure I hadn't left anything out. I'm scrape the sides just a little bit more. And before I mix it anymore, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. Let's crank her back up. Okay, you can use a bundt pan or a tube pan, and I'm using a tube pan, and I sprayed mine with Baker's Joy. If you wanted to, you could grease it with Crisco and sprinkle a little flour over it, but I'm just going to use the Baker's Joy. It's so convenient. You know, they've made so many things now that help us so much. I've got this turned around where it's hard for me to maneuver, so I'm going to have to do better. Okay, let's get this good stuff off. It's a good chocolate, but the chocolate is not overbearing. I'm going to push that out of the way. Wipe my hands, and then I'm going to start pouring into my pan. It's heavy because it's a lot. I'm sure this is going to come up to the top too. So I didn't scrape as much as I could off the sides. Always do this to get the bubbles out. But I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and it says to cook it for an hour and an 1 hour and 15 minutes to 1 hour and 25 minutes. Depends on your oven. I'm going to set my timer for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and then I'll check it. Let me put it in. Okay, it's set for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I will check it, but I will be back when the cake comes out. Okay, I just took the pound cake out of the oven. It cooked 1 hour and 15 minutes. Did not need to go any longer than that. And it's hot. I need to let it cool in here a little bit. And then I will put it out and show you what it looks like later. Well, hello, I wanted to show you the cake after it has cooled. I took it out of the oven, let it cool a little bit, and then I put it on my cardboard cake. It is beautiful. Beautiful, and it's cooled now. So, I'm going to cut a piece. It sure did rise pretty. Oh my goodness. Can you see? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to eat some. That's so good. The chocolate's not overbearing. I'll finish that in just a minute with a cup of coffee. But I wanted to show you how easy it is to make a chocolate pound cake. And I wanted to let you know that as you go about on your day-to-day, wherever you are, if you're out in the yard talking to a neighbor, or you're at the grocery store or whatever, let them see that you've got something different about you. Give everybody a smile that you meet. Be salt and light. Because Jesus tells us in Matthew 5:13 through 16 that we are to be like salt and light. I hope you have had a great day, and I will be back soon.